government's commitment to empowering the millions of Nigerian youth through sports is determined by the persons appointed to drive its policies in the ministry. Successive governments have engaged persons not known in the sector to become ministers, and President Muhammadu Buhari's administration isn't any different. In the 8 years of President Buhari's administration, Mr. Solomon Dalong from 2015 to 2019 and Mr. Sunday Dare from 2019 to 2023 were appointed ministers. Both never had any footprint in sports before their appointments. This seeming inexperience characterized Dalong's inability to manage Nigeria's participation at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Nigeria's men's football team were stranded in the United States owing to logistic issues before getting into Brazil on the day of the first game of the event. Mr. Dare had his share of the drawback when some track and field athletes staged a protest in the middle of the Tokyo Olympics after they were disqualified from competing owing to failure to comply with out-of-competition testing requirement. These two scenarios attracted international attention. Both ministers walked into the National Federation's landmines in 2017 and 2021 for mismanagement of the Athletics and Basketball Federation elections. The crisis from basketball that spanned from Dalong's tenure in 2017 to Dare's tenure in 2021 dashed the hopes of the women's national team from participating at the World Championships. In the midst of the pitfalls, the adopt a athlete and adopt a pitch policies of the administration yielded some positive outcomes.
This pick a talent, sponsor a talent really had made many of our budding athletes travel abroad for education, and while there, they are still running. Many of them wouldn't have had that opportunity if not for policy, well-defined policy by this administration.
If it doesn't come back, they should need somebody who thinks like him or who even thinks better than him, because normally you want an improvement on anything. Like as a father now, you want your son to do better than you. So we need somebody like him or who thinks better than him to continue those policies, because it is not enough to have those policies sitting somewhere. It has to be implemented.
The identified talents must be developed. We must let people know that even beyond being an athlete, sports is an industry where you can do so many other things and different levels of engagement. We need to use sports to engage our youth. We are not doing near enough of that. We are not doing enough of that at the moment. And we need to have a policy that harnesses the youthful population, the youth population we have, and turn that into a talented pool of athletes that can benefit us in the future.
Under the Adopted Pitch initiative, the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja has undergone befitting rehabilitation with the support of the Dangote Group. The Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja has hosted international football matches after the renovation. But the National Stadium in Lagos, which has suffered years of neglect, appears a daunting task for the minister, despite the financial backing of the businessman, Kessington Adebutu.
Over 380 Nigerians go there daily. Families, children, mothers. What do you think they go there to do? They go to access and use the functional aspects of the stadium. Yes, certain aspects of that stadium have gone bad. And what do you expect? 51-year-old stadium, built 51 years ago, left unattended for 19 years. Then you have a government that has started that journey. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a few steps. What was approved and released, administered by the Dangote Group, is 450 million. That was the exchange rate. The Dangote Group did the procurement, chose the contractor, and paid the contractor based on the presentation of certificate of performance. The same thing with the stadium in Surulere, 450 million. Nowhere in the world can you use 450 million to renovate a 51-year-old stadium.
In April, some of the floodlights caved in after heavy rain, forcing the minister to close the 51-year-old complex for thorough assessment and safety reasons. As the new administration assumes office, it needs to sustain the Nigeria sports industry policy and the national 10-year football master plan of the Buhari's government, focus on aggressive grassroots development while respecting the autonomy of the National Sports Federation and the Nigeria Olympic Committee.